Good morning, Rabbi Sai. It's not ach.
Sounds like
Do this again. Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Oh, much better, which reminds me, actually we have a video. Let me go straight to this video. Here, this mamish works out great. It wasn't a plan. I had Yossi Klein's video first, but here.
Go.
Oh, hold on. Oh, here we go.
Good Vach Rabbi Sai. But this is not an ordinary Vach. It's a Kesher Nafshi Vach that we're coming up. So it must be much stronger. Good Kesher Nafshi Vach Rabbi Sai. I'm so excited. And
Okay, so this is Gdali Miller. I did him a toiva. Even though we're trying to fill up our hotel, I'm promoting his. So the boy said there's a Kesher Nafshi week in Kiristir. Okay. So, but you got the nusach? You got the nusach down?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Whew. With that being said, once we got that out of the way, we have to say Kapitel Tehillim. It's the more I hear about it. Somebody was very upset that I spoke about the woman and this. I hear no, he's probably right. But I wanted to bring out. I don't know if Tehillim has enough tzara. We have to have even more. We have to be mamish imur with Sara. I can just tell you from here in Chicago, there was a rally, a pro-Israel rally that people in my family went to. I didn't go. And as people were going to this rally, there were people dressed in the whole Hamas gear, the whole thing, assaulting them, yelling at them, threatening them, cursing them. There was shots fired. We don't even know the whole story yet. There's some yeshiva guy got beat up or something. I don't know. Kitzer, it's not. You're not safe anywhere. 100,000 people in London, rally like this. Nervayim. Maskil David v'Yosef v'Maros Fila. Koili el Adonai Ezah, Koili el Adonai Eschanan. Eshpoich lefonav sichi, tzarasi lefonav agid. V'satei falai ruchi v'ato yodaten usivosi, b'rachzu ha'aleich tamnu fachli. Habeit yominu rei ve'eni makir, avad manois mimeni, ein deresh l'nafshi. זעקתי לך אדוני, אמרתי אתה מחסי, חלקי בארץ החיים. הקשיבה ונוסי כי דלוי סמיוי, דצילני מרוי תפאי, כי אומצו ממני. הוציאו ממסגר נפשי, לא ידויס שמך, ויחתירו צדיקים, כי סגמו אלוהי. אחינו כל בית ישראל אנסונים בצורו והשיביו העומדים בהם ביום ובין ביבוש ומוקים מרחם עליהם ויוצאים לצור לרווחה מאפל אלוהי ומשיב לגאולה השתו בגלוב זמן קריב ונאמר אמן. Rabbi Yossi Klein, who's heading the entire Shabbos, he started it from beginning to end. He has a message for the Olam. Here goes.
My name is Yossi Klein, and I have a message to tell you. After this terrible and painful news that was coming from Eretz Yisrael, a lot of people came over to me and asking me, where are we going to do the Shabbos? I went to Gedolei Adar, and they all came back with the same answer, that this is the time that we need achdus, and we need more hischaskas hatorah. We have to enforce that. On Shabbos, we're going to say Tehillim, we're going to try, everybody take on a blad gemura, maybe finish Side the Nusham, and maybe finish the half a shas that we learned till now. And this will bring the shleima. Also, people were asking, since there's a lot of people who cannot afford the Shabbos, in order to make this more achdus, a few anonymous donors said they're going to give $500. In total, we have for 20 people already sponsors going out based on first come, first serve. And I'm looking for more sponsors. We have already 40, besides that 20 on standby, and I'm sure it's going to be more. Whoever can give at least $500 to a person to make this more unity, for people who cannot afford, should come up and call me, and I'll take their donation and give it out to the people who are waiting. Let's make the Shabbos this achdus for all types of people. We'll sing together. Hacohen Yisrael. Thank you, and hope to see you there.
Shabbos of the, I think it was in the Ami this week, the Mishpacha. It's we're celebrating half a Shas, Seder Noshim. It's not a joke. It's a big thing. Kiddushin, Siyum. So we're gonna have a big Siyum on Motzei Shabbos. Those who can't come for Shabbos, big Siyum on Motzei Shabbos. It's open for everybody. Okay, hope to see everybody there. Another very important thing is that we're starting Baba Kama. You hear this, Simi? Starting Baba Kama in like 11, 12 days. Got to bring friends. We've been a little schwach on the recruitment because of the whole war, Matzah, but we have to step it up. Torah is the best segula. What else do we have here? Harry Belly just wanted to send you a short note to let you know that MDY family is indeed one team. Last Thursday, a package containing a bottle of wine, a homemade potato kugel, and some candy was delivered to my home to say thank you and give me and my family chizuk. I thank you to my son, Tani Greenwald, who was on the front line in Gaza along with his Sayeret Nachal unit, who for the first 3 days of the war fought off many Mechablim terrorists, and Baruch Hashem eliminated many of them despite being shot at multiple times. Baruch Hashem, they all walked out okay, but saw the most horrific things you can imagine. Talking about 18-year-olds here. MDY is so proud of him and the whole IDF. This was sent to us by a fellow MDY who feels our pain, who feels our stress, and understands what we're going through being a parent of a soldier. That shows family, care, and feelings of love. We're so touched by this. Kol HaKavod. Looking forward to seeing back at the ranch and you giving share where you sit right next to me. Mike Greenwald, Bet Shemesh. Yeah, all the Chayalim should come back. I know a bunch of Chayalim on the front lines, including my own nephew and guys that come to the shir every single day. So we wish them all Hatzlocha, and they should come back in one piece. Begufam, benafsham, berucham, and everything, because some of these images that they see are things that you can't get out for the rest of your life. So, and somebody sponsored a Masechta, which is $9,000, but I'm not exactly sure because we haven't sponsored the Masechta. Maybe he's sponsoring Baba Kama. I don't know. I have to ask Yosef. Lock and Lebovic families, Lakewood, New Jersey, they sponsored the Masechta because torah and achdus are the best segula. I'll put it over here. It's here. Okay. The Masechta is sponsored by Anonymous for the unity of Am Yisrael. Achdus again. You see, this is, I didn't see this. This is the theme for today. Achdus, achdus, achdus. The Parnas Chodesh, the Nishmas Chai, we say it over, it's like becomes like cliche. But where do you see in Klal Yisrael so many different types of people, Hasidim and Litvaks and modern Orthodox and Zionist and non-Zionist and Bali Tshuva, Gerim, all sorts of people sitting in the same room, watching the same shir. It's an unbelievable show of achdus. The Parnas Chodesh, Hatzlocha L'zechus Yosef Mayer ben Rochel and yidden worldwide. Parnas Shavua, Nechemia Worcman, Eli Nishmas, b'lomא Basar of Chaim, Yitzchak Tzal, Eli Nishmas, Moshe Chaim ben Ya'kov Tzvi Levi, Zechor Rochel, Neshamas Rabban Aliyah. By Benny Weinstein, Lakewood, New Jersey, Shkoyach Benny. Lzechus refua shleima for Moshe, Yehoshua, Hacohen, ben Sara, MDY's biggest fan, so they claim. For shleima, Moshe, Yehoshua, Hacohen, ben Sara. Art of the Mondays have been chai sorrowful, the schusim that come from supporting limit Torah. Somebody can remind me after shir. I want to record a quick video for somebody. I don't like doing it. I keep on pushing it off, but today's the day. Rabbi, you're not going to believe it. You know whose Your side it is today. Lina Nishmas, Mar Reb Yehuda Mayer ben Reb Yaakov Shimshon Zech the Rochel Shapiro. Meir Shapiro's yard side is today. The Shom should have an aliyah. What one person accomplished. One person accomplished. Says the Gemara, last words on Daf Ayin Amud Beis. Again, I got it the type of a Gemara. Omer Reb Chaim bar Chanina Shakish Baruch Hu Mitar Shvatim. 70 daf into Kiddushin. 70 daf. It's unbelievable. We're almost done with Nashim. And there you go. Baba Kama, Baba Metzia, Baba Basra. There you go. The Babas.
How long that's over here now? How long did it get through?
Yeah. Of course. Just Baba Basra alone is 172, no? 175. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name? I don't know. I forgot that. What's your name? Steinberg? Shalom Aleichem. All right. Sakush Baruch Hu is Matar the Shvatim. He's going to go through the yichus and see who's miyuchas and not miyuchas. Again, yichus means pure, no achdus, no mamzerus. Shifta shalevi metar tchilo. First, he's going to go through the Shevet Levi. Shenemar bayoshav mitzorei fu metar kesef. People that they purify the silver. V'tir has been a Levi v'zika goyim kazov v'kakosef. So I once heard, but I don't remember the Firos. If you know the Firos, you can tell me. Repezach Puran once said that when he was learning this pasuk, he went to see how they purify silver, and he asked the guy, like, when do you know to stop? How do you know that you purified? And the guy said, when it becomes so pure, like it's like a mirror, you see your own reflection. That's how you know it's pure. And he said, "Oh, it's a mushal too. You come up with your own mushal right now. Fill in the, I don't remember what it was. Okay. I call upon him. Omar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Kesef Mitar Mamzerim. I think it's a great line. You use it on. Rizal, you know what I'm talking about. A guy is in like yeshiva, like you don't want to accept him, but with enough money, sometimes. And then the people that are annoyed, they could say, Kesef Mitar Mamzerim. It's not a joke. I mean, I forgot. Somebody told me, it's not fair. Like, somebody literally said, my kid is like a top kid, and we can't get him into yeshiva. And then this kid is a very weak kid because he has a lot of money, so he's going to get into this great yeshiva, and then he's going to go to that yeshiva. It's going to give him a good head start in another place, and then he's going to get a better shidduch. And the whole thing is just what it revolves around money. So Gemara says, yeah, in a way, yes. Kesef Mitar Mamzerim. The person has a lot of money, and he works his way into some sort of shidduch, and then people forget about it. Shenema v'yoshem mitzorah v'mitar kesef. My magishim mincha b'tzedakah. Amar Yisrael tzedakah asa Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael. Hakadosh Baruch Hu does tzedakah with Klal Yisrael. Shemishpacha shenitma. Once they get swallowed in, then we're not going to look for them anymore. It's a very interesting thing. A mamzer with a lot of money, a lot of pull. He marries in. He forces his way in, and then Hakadosh Baruch Hu is just going to turn a blind eye to him. So Shmuel said that Eretz Yisrael is pure compared to the rest of the world, but you should know that Eretz Yisrael is like dough compared to Bavel, meaning the purest is Bavel. Under that is Eretz Yisrael, which is like dough. Dough means it has a lot of ingredients. It's a little bit of a mixture. Has a couple of mamzerim in there, a couple of this, a couple of that. But it's definitely better than chutz la'aretz. Says the Gemara, B'mei Rebbe, Bikshu Lasi's Bavel Isel Eretz Yisrael. They wanted to say that Eretz Yisrael is more pure than Bavel. Not like we say now, that Bavel is more pure than Eretz Yisrael. Again, let's go back to the beginning of the Asar Yichsan Olam Bavel. Ezra took the worst, all the mamzerim, he forced them, or they came with him, whatever. He took them out of Bavel, and he brought them to Eretz Yisrael. So Bavel is more pure than Eretz Yisrael. So they try to do the reverse. They try to say, no, later on, later generations, hundreds of years later, in the time of Rebbe, it's already the end of the Tanaim, right before the, try to make Eretz Yisrael pure. You're putting thorns in my eyes. So it goes like this. If you look at this chart over here, Hillel Azakim, who's Rebbe? Rabbi Yehuda Nasi is a descendant of Hillel. Ben Achar Ben, Gadol after Gadol after Gadol after Gadol, all the way to Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, to Rebbe. But Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, Rebbe, he comes from Bavel. His yichus is Bavel. So he wasn't happy. He says, you wanna take away my yichus? It's not me. I might be biased. But you know what? Go ask Reb Chanina Bar Chama. No, Bavel has pure yichos. Don't try to ruin it. Says Bavel, they try to do it again. They try to make Eretz Yisrael pure. It's a very interesting story. He tells the slaves, I'm going to be on a stretcher, or there'll be a stretcher next to me. I'm going to say these things. You throw me into the wheelchair, you throw me in the thing, you start running with me. Get me out of there quick. I'm going to drop a bomb, and right before it explodes, you take me out of there quickly. He got there, so first he throws them off. He says, you should know that a chicken doesn't really need shchita. You could shoot it in the head and you could eat it. So the Talmidim went crazy. They started looking, whoa, what is he talking about? What, really? We never paid attention to this. Why do we shecht a chicken?
You adjust the camera on the left.
Just it, what way?
Push it a bit too far.
It's a little bit in my head. Okay. Thank you, Yosef. So they're looking up in the Shulchan Aruch, whatever they had in those days, and they're looking up this sefer, that sefer in the Torah. How do you know that you have to shech the chicken? You don't have to. Is he right? And then, as they're thinking about it, he drops the bomb. He says, "Kol ha'arotz is isel Eretz Yisrael, Eretz Yisrael isel Bavel." Eretz Yisrael has worse yichus than Bavel. Happens to be like today in Eretz Yisrael, when you come from Chutz La'aretz to Eretz Yisrael, so you have to bring a letter from a rabbi that you're Jewish, that you have yichus, something. So Emmanuel Feldman from Atlanta, when he came to Eretz Yisrael, he said, "You need to give us a letter." So he said, "You know how many dozens of letters I wrote myself? So I'll write my own letter." No. You, every single person, even if you wrote letters, you have to get a letter from another Rav to testify about you. Okay, fine. So Eretz Yisrael doesn't have the best yichus. So Zavadim threw him into the stretcher and they started running. I'm just thinking now, you know where you see people running with stretchers? Those chayas over there. I don't know what, they're always running with stretchers. And when they get into the hospital, they're running in the hospital. It's like a whole balagan. It's not masudar, like it's chaos over there. Always. So I don't know, maybe it's just like a Hollywood, I think it's just like actors kind of thing. So they try to chase him down. What are you're making us into psulim. They started looking into it. And they realized some of these bad families, these tough guys, they're actually psulim. It makes a lot of sense. The way you act shows about yichos. Mamzerim have a lot of chutzpah out of this. They started looking into it, and then they started finding things they didn't want to find. Heichla. This means, says Rashi, it's a loshon of a shvua in the heichal, a shvua in the Beis Hamikdash. B'yodeinu we have the ability to realize who's possible and who's not. If I want, I could sit down right now and figure out that this and this family are a bunch of mamzerim. We already have gdolim that came out of these families, and it's too complicated. Once it got mixed into Klal Yisrael, that's it. We let it stay as is, and we go weiter. So this Ben Zion, he was a tough person. He was chashav, but he was tough, and he distanced this family. He said, "This family is no good." Then there's another family that says, "This is good." Says Gemara again, Elu, any family that's distanced or brought in with force, Eliyahu balatame uletar. Eliyahu is going to come and say the tami and tar l'rachag l'kar. Kigon Elu the yidden. A family that's known that these are mamzerim, just forcefully they were forced into the cheder system and whatever. Eliyahu is going to come in and say out. But a family that got mixed in, and now it's already unknown exactly. They had money, whatever they did. So it's a gift from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's tzedakah from Hashem, because so many families got mixed into it over the generations that Hashem is just going to turn a blind eye and say, okay, they're accepting the Klal Yisrael. Tana. There's another family that was mixed into Klal Yisrael. Chachamim knew about it, but they didn't want to reveal. Every 7 years, the Chacham gathered and said, listen, this family, whatever the name is, stay away from them. We should not marry them. We know that they're mamzerim, stay away from them. It sounds like tefillin. How often do you check tefillin? Twice in 7 years or once in 7 years? What? You see some achlokes, but anyways, it's similar to this, whatever it is. Twice in 7 years? Some people once in every 20 years. By some people, I mean myself, I think. It's time to buy new tefillin, maybe. Makes sense. It's not twice every 7 years, once every 7 years. It says a person makes this. Don't tell anybody. I want to write this down as a question I want to ask. I shouldn't say Rabbim. Well, they're not watching anyways. But maybe the head will. This could be a question for the Shas yidden. Where in Shas is there a sugya or a statement about Nazirus that's not brought in Masechtas Nazir? Here. Haredi Nazir, I'm a Nazir im lo yagal mishpachos. If I don't reveal the families of the Mamzerim, I'm a Nazir. Yed Nazir lo yagal mishpachos. Even though it's Isser to be a Nazir, yeah? That's the whole, when we learn Nazir, it's also to be a Nazir. It's not a good thing. Hashem wants you to benefit from the beauty of his world and to drink wine and all those things. You're not supposed to take on yourself extra chumras. Nevertheless, you should not be megala the families. Shame, a totally new sugi, Rabbi said. Shame ben arba oisiyos chachamim moisrim oisoy tamideyim pamachas b'shavua. The famous name is Shem Hashem. So Chachamim teach the Kavanas what it means. The Yudke Vavke, not. Oh, by the way, I'll tell you a secret. There's a name called Yudke Vavke. That we know. But what's the meaning behind it? There's a famous story. I couldn't find it today, but there's a story about like some Sephardi Rav that lived like 300-400 years ago. I forget who it is. If you remember who it is, let me know. There's a sheikh, the top Arab guy, Muslim guy, who he knew who you come to him, he said that this guy's a goner, he's gonna die. This guy is gonna live. And he's very accurate. So he wanted to know what's pshat. So he went and befriended him and he begged him. So the guy said, okay, come. It's a whole long story, Arichas Dvar, but basically went into some tunnel after the tunnel. And then he said, okay, now you have to bow. So he bowed with L'Shem Hashem. And he got in, and then he revealed something on the wall. He says this. And he looks, the Rav couldn't believe it. It said Yud K Vav K. He says anytime he davens there, Yud K Vav K, if it's like light and he knows the guy's going to live, dark, this Kavanas and Shem Hashem, is we're going to see that if you know how to say it and you know what to do, you could kill people, you could do certain moifsim with it. So they would give over the kavanas to the Talmidim once every 7 years, or twice every 7 years. Makes sense. Once every 7 years, this is my name forever. But if you look in the Torah, it doesn't say with a vav. Supposed to keep it quiet. Rava Savar, the Midrash of Pirka, Rava wanted to reveal the secrets in his shir. You're supposed to keep it quiet. You're not supposed to reveal. Rabbi Avinu Rami Ksiv, he has a contradiction. Ksiv zeshmi, ksiv zichri. This is my name. This is my mention. And Rashi says it doesn't say zeshmi vizichri. It says zeshmi zichri. It's like two separate things. That enechanami, it's two different things. Why is it two different things? I'm written nichtavani b'yud k. I'm written yud k vav k. V'nikra b'alav daled. And the way we do it today, there was a Baal Tshuva guy. Not so much. He was like coming Baal Tshuva, and I told him say Tehillim. Israeli guy, and he was saying I didn't realize that. I took it for granted. We say Adoi whatever. We know it automatically. He didn't know, and he starts reading. I said, no, you're not saying it like that. He's saying Yud K, like he's reading it like that. So it says Zichri. There's a name and there's a mention how you say it. We say it Aleph Daled. Torah Rabbanan B'Rishono Shem Ben 12 There's a name of Hashem that had 12 letters and everybody knew it. People took advantage of it. They would do different things with it. So this is the story. I said it over. I could say it again. There was a guy in, I think it was, that this one. Okay. Guy in Herzliya that people were saying rumors that he has some big koiches, like a makubal. So my father kept on like telling me, we have to figure out who this guy is. What's his deal? And I learned chavrusa with my father. This is like 20 something years ago. When I lived in Yisrael, we didn't. I think I had my 27-year-old today. He's maybe a year old then. Kids, 25 years ago. So he said, we have to figure this guy out. So anyway, one day that's it. He had enough. He said, we're going to Herzliya. He said, you know where you're going? No, we're just going to go. We're going to find him. So we get a taxi. Me, my father, my uncle. We get in a taxi. We go to Herzliya. We get to Herzliya. The driver says, where? He says, roll down the windows. He says, where does the Makubal live? The guy says, I don't know what you're talking about. Kids, the next guy, finally, the guy says, oh, the Makubal, yeah. Go over here. Kids, we got there. We get there. We get to the block. They point us to the building. We get to the building. He's like on the 11th floor. So look at the 11th floor. How's a frum guy living on the 11th floor? You know, back in the day without Shabbos. Okay, kids, we get up there. We knock on the guy's door. Guy opens up the door. Did not look like a makubal. Shaved guy, undershirt, jeans. He said, "You're the makubal? Okay, come inside. Come inside." Okay, so we come inside, and he looks at my uncle. My sister looks at my uncle. He says, "You have a bruise right here on your foot." Kids, no, you know, I don't know. He says, "Okay, so take off your pants. Prove it." So my uncle rolls up his pant, and he had a bruise right where he pointed. And he started doing stuff like that, one after another. And he told my father something. My father went out of his mind. And basically, this guy was saying Shem Hashem. He was saying Yud K Vav K straight out. That was his thing. He said Yud K Vav. And when we finally heard it, my father said, "Oh, he's saying Shem Hashem. We gotta run." And he said, "Eliyahu, come." We ran out of there, and that was that. But the guy said things that it was insane. He described my my aunt. He said some very interesting things. That's Misharabo Aparitim, a person that's not on a level, and he uses the Shem Hashem for the wrong thing. They only gave over this 12-letter name to To those who are tsanua, they have tznius, the kohanim. There's a whole thing. If kohanim should sing while they duchen, they don't sing while they duchen. While they were saying it in a pleasant way, the Shem Hashem, when a regular kohen was saying the 4-letter Shem Hashem, they were saying the 12-letter Shem Hashem in a way that nobody could understand it. They would say like they would mumble it. Tanya Omer Reb Tarfon. Reb Tarfon, who himself was a kohen, I went with my uncle Laduchen in the Beis Hamikdash. I made sure I'm right there by the Kohen Gadol. I heard him saying the Shem Hashem, as all the other Kohanim were saying Hashem. And he threw out the long name of Hashem. There's a Bacher, Sephardi Bacher, who really wanted to get the kiss from Ovadia Yosef's hand. And the Gabbai said, no way. He says, but I need to kiss his head. No. He noticed that by duchening, after duchening, all the Kohanim would go right by Rav Ovadia, and they would get to kiss his head. So by Musaf, he went up there and he duchened. He went up and he duchened, and he, as he finished, he went down and he kissed his hand. So Rav Zubstein said, I'm serious, Rav Zubstein said that it's okay what he did. It wasn't a Gnevas Das to Rav Ovadia, because if Rav Ovadia would know how much this Bacher really wanted to kiss his hand, he would be okay with it. And that has to do with another mice I want to say in Amud Beis. So says the Gemara, the 42-letter one, you have to be a tsanua and a humble person. You have to be half your life. In other words, 35 years old, because people usually live to 70, so 35. He doesn't get upset. You can't put yourself in a position where you're going to blurt out the name. You're going to get mad at somebody. And imagine if I was there and I had a weapon on me and this guy got in my face like that. Hashem Yirachim, I wouldn't be here right now. You can't have hot-headed people with weapons. It's dangerous. Some people never grow up. No, I'm serious. Well, let this guy. The guy got into my son's. He wasn't doing anything with it. He goes into his nose, like, and he's holding like a stick in his hand, and the whole. And they don't show their face. They're scared. No, you're fine. Today in Chicago, today in New York, in Brooklyn yesterday. No, you're fine. You can't get drunk. Also, you'd be shikker. And he knows how to give in. So Tzaddik says, and Tzaddik says, this is the famous Gemara that Adam Nicker, Bekisoi, Bekasoi, or Bekoisoi, Bekisoi, Koisoi, Bekasoi. He says the Koisoi we have here, Shikr. The Kasoi says Mufurish, Kas. He says the Kisoi is also like if somebody steals from him, whatever, he doesn't go crazy on him. Those are the people that you could give the Shem to. Sorry. If you know the name, the Shem Hashem, and you're careful with it, and you go to the mikvah, you're tar before you use it. Oh, v'lamala, you're loved above. V'nechmad l'mata, ve'imosim u'tos al briyos, and people will be fearful of him. V'noichel shnei elamim, v'elam hazeh, v'elam haba. Omer Shmuel Shmei the Saba. Shmuel said the name of the Saba. Bavel b'chatzk sheri medes. A person that comes, a family that comes from Bavel, so Bavel, as we said, is pure, as we're purified, it didn't leave until it's mamish soilus nekiah. So if a person comes from there, we have no reason to believe that something's wrong with him. He's good. Most other countries, a person comes from there, we can't know. That's why you need that letter from the Rav to say that you're kosher. Eretz Yisrael, here's the problem. Eretz Yisrael, muchzik lepasul pasul. If you have a chazaka that you pasul, okay, you pasul. Lekosher kosher. So it says Gemara, but this is a contradiction. Why? Hogov guys, the famous kash in the Gemara. When I tell you that if somebody has a chazaka that he's pasul, and only then he's pasul, that means if he's parav, then he's kosher. And if you go on the flip side, well, the Tani muchzik lekosher kosher. If a person has a chazaka that he's kosher, he's kosher. But what about parav? Hastama pasul, if parav would be pasul. So which one is it? A person who's parav, we don't know if he has a chazaka to good or bad. It comes out of contradiction from the Reish and the Seifa. Not a kasha. Daf Yomi from Amud Beis. Kan lasiyo isha. Kan lohoitzi isha miyadoi. If you want to marry him off lechatchila, you have to check. But if a person already is married, to break up a marriage based on a parav, then you don't break up a marriage on that. If you have a parav person and you try to marry off your daughter, it's not good enough. You have to check, is this parav person kosher or not? But if you find out that your son-in-law is a parav person, you're not going to go force him to get divorced because he's parav. Or Yosef. When he talks, his accent is like that of a person that comes from Iran. Masi and lo isha. Yeah, I was just thinking about the guy from Great Chicago, Iranian. He has that accent. He's here for how many years? At least Berliani. He's at least Avram Berliani. He's at least 30 years. But you can know in a second that he's No, we don't have sponsors. We have a new sponsor for the Masechta. $9,000. When you see that he's pure, he's an Iranian. No problem. But today, I guess this is the Rama we have. There's a faker. He has jeans underneath his suit over there. There's a faker. So we have to do chayshish. You go to special school, you get those apps, and you start putting on a fake Iranian accent. It's not. Oh, which reminds me that Neuerdick story. When was it? A year ago? Maybe 2 years ago? The guy got married in New York, and they found out he was Palestinian. No? What was he? Neuerdick.
Guy came into the rally today wearing tzitzis, yarmulke. He's Palestinian.
Ma'aseh Shaya?
And they escorted him out. Guy got in, started yelling, shouting, and his tzitzis hanging out. You know,
he was yelling and screaming?
He made a few comments and then he was escorted out. He left peacefully, but it was a guy dressed up as a Jew to get inside. They were checking ID.
You should know, it says in Allah, you're not allowed to sell tzitzis and talis to a guy because of that. They dress up with it. Oy, Shem Yirachim. It's not easy times. Meanwhile, over here, it's more dangerous than Eretz Yisrael. Omar Rav Yosef. Ziri says, listen to this, Maisa, a real interesting story. Ziri was a Talmud of Rabbi Yochanan, and he was avoiding him. He comes to him, Rabbi Yochanan is very upfront with him. He says, listen, I need you to marry my daughter. Says the Gemara, they got to a body of water. Reb Zeir grabs Rabbi Yochanan, puts him on his shoulder, and he crosses. I think by Hasidim, it's a little bit of a problem to put somebody in the shoulders. There's a shtickle kpeda on it. No, Chassan as a whole, there's an yidden about it. Shouldn't be that big of a deal, but especially a rabbin and Talmud and going across, okay. So now he has him on. He's riding his shoulder on Malay, or he's asking Sheira, "You're showing me that you're my Talmud. By you lifting me up, you're my Talmud. So my torah is good for you, but nothing like Sheira."
More parts of the video.
Of what video?
The animation.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Ah, good. Yossi was on top of things here. He has a fake fake payas. That's what it is. You see that? His payas are like with elastic. The whole thing is fake over there. I got it. Okay, Givaldi. Oh, it goes even more. The whole beard comes off. It's a real. Not bad. Oh, the king was away also. Oh, it's really. And he has a. Okay, that's it. Okay, Shkoyach Yosef. It's very interesting because Rabbi Rochel, if you know, everybody knows, Rabbi Rochel lost all his sons. 10 sons died, and he used to walk around with a tooth, named beer, whatever. I guess he had one daughter, and he wanted his daughter to marry the top guy. There's nobody, Ziri. Ziri. So he says, Rabbi Zechus, he came to Volozhin, and he's looking for a shidduch for his daughter. He says, listen, anybody could answer this question, gets to marry my daughter. So he asked the question, and this guy answered it. Nobody. So he left. Bagbus Nefesh. He couldn't find the shidduch. Gets there, he's a few hundred feet away from yeshiva. All of a sudden, a bacher starts running after him. So he says, well, what do you want? He says, you have a teretz? You have a pshat? He says, no. He says, what are you running here? He says, I want to know what the answer is. So he says, the answer is that I want a guy like you. I want someone that's going to run after and work to not just a guy that's smart, someone that's going to hard of it to find this. And he actually became his chasson, and he took over afterwards. And I think in Slonim, it was a Rabbi Zechariah in Slonim. I think that he was the Rav over there in Slonim afterwards. Zog the Gemara, my daitoch. Eli it's not so Yosef Olam Bavel Kana Levi Otukana Levi Yisrael Kulis Ligu. So what do you think? You think that the Bavel is so pure because it says Asar Yosef Olam Bavel? Well, you think that every Kohen and Levi went up? Bavel also has mamzerim and bad yichus. You don't want to marry. Rabbi Yochanan was in Eretz Yisrael, right? Rabbi Yochanan is the Galadar in Eretz Yisrael. Rab was in Bavel. So you're worried to marry. I think it's an unbelievable story. The Gadol Hadar, he has a daughter, and Ziri doesn't want to marry her. Why? Because the yichus is not so good. He has Eretz Yisrael yichus. I'm looking for Bavel yichus. It's unbelievable. No games. Emes. This is Emes. He could be the Galadar, he could be everything, but I need to marry Yichus. Hashem wants me to marry Yichus. So Rochel says, what do you think? We have worse Yichus than you in Bavel? Well, you think Mamzerim didn't stay in Bavel? Says the Gemara, yes, he made a mistake, Rochel. He forgot, as we learned the other day, that Ezra cleaned out every single last Mamzer in Bavel. There are no Mamzer in Bavel. So Ziri's point was that Bavel does have better yichus. Ula went up to Pumbedisa, to the house of Rav Yehuda. He noticed Rav Yitzchak, the son of Rav Yehuda, that was older and didn't get married. How come you don't marry off your son? I don't know where the yichus is. Do we know where we came from? Maybe it's from these people. Maybe you'll say that at the end of the day, a guy and a slave who had relations with the Jew, the kid is kosher. Okay, but there's other people. Maybe we come from these terrible people. These people, they go to the bathroom in front of their bed. Ravo said, terrible pshat. That's not the pshat. Because a person relieves himself in front of his bed, so that's why they should go into Golos. No. What I'm trying to get to is terrible people. People that eat and drink, couples together, and they put their beds together, and they switch wives, and their beds are full of zera that's not theirs. So what should I do? I'll give you a beautiful simon of who's the right shidduch. Go after those who are quiet. When two people have a fight, see which one is quiet first. This person has yichus. Unbelievable. Nochal, should we say it again? Kiminsu beitrei b'hadadadi. When there's two people fighting, chazu heiminayu kodem eshasu. See which one is the one that's quiet first. Amri, and then you know, Haim Yuchas Tvei, that person has Yichus, that's how you get a shidduch. Omer Rav, Shtikuse de Bavel, Hainu Yichusa. Maisa Shahaya, I'll say this. One of the things that made me go for my son-in-law, Mayor Jacobs, is that the Shadchan said a story that he was in a restaurant and the waiter tripped and spilled a hot bowl of soup on my son-in-law. And he didn't say a word. He was quiet. It happens to be that he's extremely makbid in Lashon Hara. He's very good control on his mouth. I never ever heard him speak Lashon Hara. So that gave me it's a gavra. He's quiet when the shtikusei. So I was Mekayim this Gemara. I just realized now I wasn't preparing to say this as I'm saying it now. You look after shtikusa. That's the way to look. Eini asked the Gemara Rav ubadik bahu my lab yachsusa. Rav went to look for yichus. Lo b'shtikusa. He went to find who's the quiet one. He didn't care about the yichus because it's hard. You look for who's the one that's quiet. If you see two people fighting, Baruch makes a nest. If you see two people fighting, they're not going to get married to each other because Hashem doesn't want them to get married to each other because one of them has a little mamzerus in him. So Hashem makes them fight so they don't like each other and they stay away from each other. Levi, he argues a little bit. It's not that two people. A lot of times two people fight. But in Rizah you see two families fighting. That's rare. That's Shemas Potzel Yesh Bachas. Now people can say, "Oh, you know why I fight with that family? Because they're a bunch of mamzerim. I need to stay away. Hashem wants me to stay away from them because they're the mamzerim." Hashem doesn't want you to go next to them, so maybe Hashem makes you fight with them. Bavel Beria. Oh, so we have a nice thing here. Check this out. You see, Yoshi did there's four cities here. So I'm going to read it. You can look at the chart while I read it. Bavel Beria. Bavel is healthy. Here's a nice healthy zaftig guy, meaning they're kosher. Meshain, Mesa, the dead. They're mamzerim. Meshain is all mamzerim. Modai chayla. Well, it's a sick person. Elam, Goisasus. He's half cut off. He's on a stretcher. He came in on a stretcher. Here.
The screen is a little.
Yeah, that's fine.
I see it over here in this screen. I see in the small screen. I don't see it so well. Basically, he's a Goisus. He's 1 foot in the caver. What's the difference? Most sick people, they go to life. In other words, they're kosher. The Goisim, so Elam is Goisus. Elam is basically Mamzer. Says Gemara, Bavel. Where does Bavel go to? Rabamad Nahar Azog, Shmulamad Nahar Yuni. So it goes like this. Okay. So here's a map of Bavel. As you see, Bavel has two major rivers. You have the Chidekel and Pras, the Tigris and the Euphrates, right? So on the top part, the Gemara says, Le'el b'diglas adecha. You're talking about the Tigris, the top part of the Tigris until we're Rav Omar ad Bagdo v'Avno, Ushmul Omar ad Mushkine. Here is Mushkine on top here. Listen, I don't want like this pro. There's probably some guy that studied these maps his entire life, and he's going to write in tomorrow that no, Mushkini is a little bit to the east. Okay, whatever. It's just for illustrative purposes only. Mushkini bichlal. Mushkini is not part of Bavel. In other words, Bavel is so pure. If you take a shidduch from Mushkini, you should know that there might be mamzerim over there. Says Goyla means Pupandisa, because that's where most Torah was. We just said Rav comes from Pupandisa, the Rashiva there. Mushkini is like Bavel. It's like Pumbedisa, like for Yuchsin. Elad Mushkini Michlal. You're right. Mushkini is part of Bavel. So when you go to the bottom of the tigers, where does it go? Hello. Next. So I do this. Oh. Now the bottom. Omarav Shmuel Ada Pamyotata. The bottom apamya. Says Gemara, Tarda apamya having. There's two apamyas. Chada Elisa, one upper one, Chada Tatasio. Chada Ksherev, Chada Psula. One is kosher, one is not. If you look in this chart, he did one green, one red. One is kosher, one is puzzle. Ubei Chada Chada Parsa. There's one measurement, call it a mile, between the two. And they're very careful. The ones that are kosher have nothing to do with the other ones. You have a light? No. I'm sorry, can't give you a light. Nothing. Remember, Meshon. You remember when we had a Meshon? Meshon are dead. Meshon means they're mamzerim. So when they speak Meshonis, they speak the language of Meshon, is a bad siman. It's a siman that they're mamzerim. Now we keep on going. The top of Nahar Pras, Euphrates, where Rav Omar. So if you look on the top left corner of this chart, there's three shitas here. Shmuel says Gishra the Pras, it's getting late. The bridge of Pras. Rav says Akra the Tulbanki. Rebbe says Ma'boyer is the Gizmo. Shmuel is the furthest one away, the top. Rav is in the middle, Rebbe is on the bottom. In other words, Shmuel is very makel. Shmuel says even high up, which past Bavel, is still considered Bavel. So Rav Omar the Akra the Tulbanki. Shmuel Omar the Gishra the Pras. Rebbe Omar Ma'boyer is the Gizmo. Light Abaya. Abaya cursed. We say Rav Yosef at the Rav. Abaya did not. Rav Yosef did not like Rav. Where's Rav? Look at Rav. Rav is in yellow. He's in the middle. He's too far away from Bavel. So the Gemara, the Rav light, the Shmuel light, but Shmuel's further away. Why wouldn't he curse out Shmuel? El light the Rav, Kolchken and Shmuel. Of course, even Rav he wasn't happy with, but certainly Shmuel is further up. He didn't curse Shmuel. Why? This chart is not good, says the Gemara. Shmuel's not on top. Yes, you're right. Today there's a bridge over there. But in the time of the Tanaim, there was no bridge over there. Shmuel's bridge was way down, like even where Rabbi Yochanan is, or even closer. And it's only now that the bridge changed. Let's see. You see? He did change it. Shmuel is now closer down to Rav is the top one. We just switched positions because the bridge in those days was lower down. Rabboisai, have a wonderful day. We should Psuras Toivas. Klai Yisrael should be safe. Everybody stay safe. Have a wonderful day.